Hot Springs Village Inside Out is a closer look at the largest gated community in North America, spanning 26,000 acres in the Ouachita Mountains in south central Arkansas. Join me, Randy Cantrell, and some occasional guests as we explore Hot Springs Village Inside Out. HSV Inside Out is sponsored by Ike Eisenhower State Farm. Ike and his award-winning team have been serving the insurance needs of folks all around Hot Springs Village since 1998. Call Ike Eisenhower State Farm today at 501-984-4100. That's 501-984-4100. Find them online at ikeeisenhower.net. Call them today for all your insurance needs because, like a good neighbor, Ike Eisenhower State Farm is there. Also sponsored by McGraw Realtors, located in the heart of Hot Springs Village, the fastest growing real estate office with over 30 agents and staff. Executive brokers Lori and Ken Henderson, along with realtor and waterfront specialist Rick Marshall, they're eager to share the special features of Hot Springs Village with you. For a complimentary relocation packet, call Ken and Lori at 501-276-3018 or Rick Marshall at 501-601-RICK. They are McGraw Realtors of Hot Springs Village. Chief Kristi Bennett, Hot Springs Village Police Chief, and we're glad to have her back on the show. We've been getting a bunch of questions, Kristi, about safety, particularly for single women, widowed or single women. I'm assuming, based on the emails, they've been watching. We get out and we walk the trails and we just kind of show people these trails. So people have specifically inquired, how safe is the village? I'm a single female. These trails look lovely, love to walk, but I'm pretty nervous about it. Now keep in mind, most of our audience, they are not in Arkansas. Many of them have never visited the village, but you would say to them what?
Well, I would tell you that as a single woman or a widow, it's always good to be observant of your surroundings, no matter where you are. Whether you're in what I feel like is one of the safest places in the United States, the Hot Springs Village, or whether you're in a bigger city with even a higher crime rate. That being said, always paying attention to your surroundings and being observant is the best thing that I can always tell any woman that's in a situation, that she can pay attention to those cues and have technology available with her so she can call 911 if she needs help.
We've also had some of these same people that are on public record as being sex offenders. And of course, sometimes social media does share these photographs of these individuals. And we are not unlike any other community. I have told people that have contacted me by email, we do have registered sex offenders who live in the village. I doubt there's a community anywhere in America that doesn't have that. And I don't have anything, I don't know what to say to people about that. There's nothing that you can do legally to prevent these people from living where they want to live.
Right.
But what feedback would you offer for that?
Well, I can tell you that we do not have a large amount. We have over 18,000 residents here in Hot Springs Village. On holiday weekends, we swell to 30 or 40,000. So those people, we obviously don't have a good idea of what their legal standpoint is when it comes to being a sex offender. But for the residents that we have here in the village, we are aware of each and every one. Anybody actually can go and access the sex offendery website from the Arkansas State DPS website and find out where those sex offenders are located in their respective communities, and they can click on and link and decide, or it shows what level that they were assessed at. Here at the Hot Springs Village Police Department, we have our own sex offender detective. That's something that we brought in whenever this administration changed with me back in July of 2022. Detective Tony Green, he comes to us with an extraordinary amount of experience in the sex offender detective world, and he is over all of our sex offenders here. They follow the same rules and regulations and laws as everybody else in the state of Arkansas. I can tell you that Tony is tough. He's very strict with all of the rules and regulations to ensure that they are followed, and he does a very good job of that. That being said, you're right. They have the same rights as a lot of other people to live anywhere that they'd like. There are certain stipulations. We did go to the Senate in the legislation this year with Representative McDuffie this year, and we had a statute put in place to where no sex offender registered level 3 and 4 could access any of our beaches and parks. That was something that we saw immediately when I came in back in 2022. We were lacking in that because we were under that private kind of umbrella, but it wasn't just us in the village, it was anywhere in the state of Arkansas. Basically, if any beach or public park where children play, if they were only receiving Arkansas state or federal funding, a sex offender could not be there. So now any park where children can play that's identified as a park or a beach, sex offenders level 3 and 4 are not allowed to frequent those locations. And that's no different than in Russellville, where the proposed law came from. The sheriff up there, they had a splash pad, something that was more privately owned, not from any state funding. And that's how the bill came about. So we're always doing our very best to ensure the safety of our residents by tightening up anything that we can, that we see, any lacking loopholes such as this, and moving forward to ensuring the safety of all of our residents.
Because we are a gated community, people sometimes don't quite understand the way the gates work here, particularly people that are more accustomed to, I guess if there is such a thing as a gated community. So let's inform the audience. Keep in mind, most of these folks have never yet visited the village, and just the way the credentials work, and just how would you explain that to somebody that really doesn't have a concept of it yet?
So we are the largest gated community in America, right? So we do our very best to ensure that the people that are coming in here are vetted and they have authorization to the vast amount of private property that we have here in the village. That being said, we have a lot of businesses. We have a lot of doctor's office, medical facilities.
Churches,
absolutely. Probably more churches per square miles than I've ever seen. And that's wonderful. It's wonderful that we have those things. But we do our very best we have a new gate company that came in, and they're doing an excellent job of making sure that our gate procedures are being followed. And that being said, that it's, unless you are a member, you have restricted access. So if you are a member, you have your access for egress and ingress. But if you are not a member, a visitor or a guest, you are required to have another umbrella of entrance before you can come in, whether it's called in by your member, called in by a doctor with a reservation, even a restaurant having a reservation on your phone or through an email to show the gates that you have authorized access. But what I can tell you is I've been here, it'll be 3 years in July. I'm pretty excited about my 3-year anniversary. That over 90% of any criminal activity that we have occurring are coming from members themselves or people that had absolute right to be in this village. And with that, it's human behavior, right? So human behavior, and it's something that you can't predict, but we also understand that it is in a lot of people's human nature to use and abuse narcotics, alcohol, which is a big contributing factor of a lot of our calls. The number one criminal activity that we have here in the village when it comes to non-violent crimes is going to be scams and fraud. That is hands down the biggest thing that we deal with, and it's on a day-to-day basis. I can tell you that it's not small amounts either. We've seen as high as $350,000 to, I think last week we had one come in for $40,000. And what it is people are giving in this community. It's a very kind community, and people want to help out, and they're taken advantage of. And these people that are taking advantage of them, they live in other countries. They're scam artists. They use internet fraud, mail fraud, wire fraud, using the phones, emails to target individuals to get help, or however you want to say, and people give them their money. When it comes to violent crime here, our biggest is going to be domestics. And that is where not only is it spouse with spouse, but we see a significant amount of individuals who have allowed their children, who are no longer children, they're in their 30s, 40s, 50s, live with them. And that creates an elderly abuse situation. And then we have domestics with that. So those are the two biggest things that we have here. As far as property theft, that are actual property thefts, I can tell you we're most likely one of the lowest in the state of Arkansas. Our clearance rate is very good, but we don't have one of those things that you've got to worry about leaving your lawnmower out in the driveway and it being taken. Now, please don't do that, because I don't want you to come back and say, my lawnmower got stolen because it was outside of my driveway. That's obviously presenting an opportunity, which you don't want to do. But as far as crime here, we're very blessed to have a very low crime rate when it comes to other surrounding areas such as Little Rock, Hot Springs. And I do believe that the gates do play a part in that. And I also think that the number one reason why our crime rate is so low is because of our residents. We have an environment where our residents take care of each other, they watch out for each other, and I've said it for many years, even in the job that I was in previously, which had a significantly high crime rate, the criminal element will never establish itself where not allowed. So I think our residents do an incredible job of not allowing that criminal element to establish itself here. And we work really hard on outreach and education. It seems like we're not getting very far as I'd like to when it comes to scams and fraud. I just cannot convince people to quit giving their money away, and that's very unfortunate. But when it comes to being here and part of this community, I live in this community. It was a dream of mine to be able to live in this community, and I now have that opportunity. So I not only have an investment here working as the police chief for our safety, but also an internal investment wanting to make sure that my child gets to grow up in a very safe community.
Thanks for watching Hot Springs Village Inside Out. You'll find all our episodes at hotspringsvillageinsideout.com or on YouTube.